Hi, this is Jess. Welcome back to Deercraft. Okay, today we are taking my first finished cross-stitch project. This is like a project that I actually followed a pattern, purchased the threads and the linen, and am making a huswife or a huswife. It's basically like a small pouch to hold all of your sewing notions, like your thimble, your scissors, your needles. And I've really enjoyed cross stitch, and I can definitely see it being a part of my life for a considerable amount of time because I've just found it like so therapeutic and just something really lovely to make. And so I'd like to have nice things around me for doing cross stitch. I want to keep like my scissors and my thread and my needles in something beautiful because I'm probably going to use it every single day. And so I saw this project when I've been looking at different cross stitch patterns, and I was like, oh, this is a great first project. It wasn't too big, and then I could finish it and make it into this housewife, and that's where I could store all of my cross stitch notions. And I am not an expert sewer. I am not a quilter. I'm kind of still afraid of my sewing machine. I'll get it out occasionally. So if you're probably watching this and you do any of those things on a regular basis, you're probably like terrified by what I'm doing right now. But anyway, I'm just following the instructions that came with the cross stitch pattern about how to finish it into this housewife. And again, not good at this. I debated using my sewing machine versus hand sewing it, and I decided to hand sew it. I just become so accustomed to having like a needle and thread in my hand for cross stitching. I was like, I can do this. It's not too big. Sort of kind of regretted it towards the end of the project. It probably would have come out a little cleaner if I would have used my sewing machine. But overall, I'm so happy with how it came out. I've already been using it every day when I'm cross stitching to store all of my things. And I did initial it. It does have my initials J and B on it. And I did change the colors a couple bit. Again, this pattern like tells you what thread to buy, what color. And I changed a couple colors. But overall, I love this pattern. It's by Blackbird. I think it's called The Sweet Bird Sings. I can link it in the description. And again, this is my first time cross stitching on linen and following a pattern, and I really like it. I've watched a lot of other floss tubes and learned so much from other people. And so really, again, this is like my first time trying to make something myself with my cross stitch finish. Okay, so right here is these fabrics that I just purchased. I'm interested in quilting or learning how to quilt. And I found this website where they have reproduction fabrics. So these are prints from different eras. And the majority of these are from the Civil War era. They break their fabrics by era. And then when you view them, I just felt really drawn to the Civil War era patterns. So I bought some fat quarters, I think of like 6 or 7 different colors. And you needed some fabric to finish this housewife to make the pockets. And I was like, this is a perfect project to use this too. I definitely plan to use this fabric also of like some small quilting projects. And so this is me honestly just playing with pattern. This actually kind of comes naturally to me because I'm an interior designer. I use a lot of fabrics in my profession. I'm mixing patterns in my profession, mixing colors. And so I'm just playing around here with like the order I want them in because the pockets are stacked on the housewife. And so I'm just seeing what I like best and scale of pattern, color of the pattern, what two fabrics do I want touching. So yeah, I just played around a lot with that. And then again, you see me starting to cut out the fabric to start making the pockets. So just going back to like what I like about cross stitch is I love that I can like sit in bed and cross stitch, and it's just very therapeutic. I've been trying to do it every night. I would say I do it about 5 out of 7 nights, and I've been really enjoying it. And the first couple patterns I've got are for things to make for myself to continue to cross stitch, if that makes sense. So this is a housewife, and now I'm working on another project, and it's like a bag, so that then that bag can hold like my fabric and the pattern and the thread of future cross stitch patterns. So I just kind of wanted to start there, some like little things, but I definitely have some ideas for some more cross stitch patterns that I've caught my eye that I want to make, like for my kids or for my home or for gifts. I just really encourage you, if you've never tried it, to look into it. You'll probably see like lots of different cross stitch patterns and stuff at like hobby stores. And I have found that I'm not drawn to those. I'm drawn to more let's call them like reproduction, sampler, historic, where it's meant to look old. And that's just something that fits for what I like. I like old things. I like things that look old. So when I found that type of cross stitch, that really just like hit home for me. And that's what I wanted to do. Okay, so this is like my final tiers of fabric of like what I liked and in what order. And to go back to like how I'm not great at sewing and measuring and doing those types of things, and I hope to get better. It was supposed to have 5 pockets, but for some reason 4 only fit in my finished housewife, and it just is what it is. I'm still happy with 4 pockets. But yeah, this is me starting to hand sew the fabric. And again, I'm just following step by step of what my pattern said. I took a Saturday afternoon to do that. Oh, there are some goldfish that have entered the picture from my daughter asking me for a snack. So it did take some time, especially took more time because I was hand sewing it. But I enjoyed the process. I enjoyed putting it all together, doing some different skills I haven't done in a while. I would love to take like an intensive course of like sewing machine for like 3 days. I would love to take a course on like quilting. And those are all things I've looked into. I just want to push myself creatively so that I feel confident in different projects that I'm attracted to or that I think of, and can have the confidence with my skill, because definitely my skill level is not there yet for everything that I want to do. And I just have to be okay with like, if it's a little sloppy or if it doesn't line up perfectly. But yeah, that's okay. So here was me just checking my finished cross stitch piece next to what the fabrics I picked and just being really happy with how it all looked together. I loved this cross stitch pattern. It had like lots of greens in it, and green is my favorite color. And I just thought it was really beautiful. It had 3 birds. I have 3 children, and I'm just very sentimental like that, hence my YouTube channel. And this is me just sewing on a piece of velvet that I had left over to hold like some needles. And then it asked you to make a kind of like a rope to string around your housewife to keep it closed with a button. And so they had where it said like to twist some floss together, but that really wasn't working out with me. So I decided to braid it, and I was really happy with it. And also in their finishing instructions, they had like to put some type of ribbon for like edging the piece, and I didn't do that either. I just didn't feel confident doing it, and I didn't feel like it needed it. And that's me just checking the length of the braid to make sure it goes all the way around. But yes, here's me pinning the finished piece and the pockets together, right side together, so that you could flip it out. It would be correct. Like I said, it just was really beautiful how it was slowly coming together. It was making me really excited that I was finishing this. What do you think of it? I'm thinking that there's going to be some more finishing in my future with the projects that I'm choosing to do with cross stitch, because a lot of them require finishing, like meaning you have to do more steps after you're done cross stitching versus just like framing something. So that's why, again, I want to get better at sewing. I want to get better at my sewing machine. And here it is all done. Here's like my scissors, my thimble that I don't use for cross stitch. I use it for other things. Seam ripper, which you definitely use for cross stitch if you've made a mistake. Needle minder. I'm always using my needle minder, all my needles. So I just like lay this out next to me as I'm cross stitching so that like I have all my tools right there, and I just keep them all together. Thanks to my mom, she supplied the button for me. I love that my mom just has like a collection of buttons. I aspire one day to have like a collection of buttons. So I should start collecting now, but I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. There's my initials on the back. If you see any other finished work for this particular pattern, it's going to look a little better, and that's okay. I'm still happy with it. I'm super happy with how the fabric turned out and the fabric that I chose, and I hope you like it. Thanks.